How's it going, guys? It is me, the mighty SUCRAM, back here with episode 30 of Capitals Off Their Chain, season 4. This will be our third to last episode, or fourth to last episode. We got 3 more episodes remaining, which includes the finale, the day of the draft. Gil, today is going to be more of a relaxed episode. It's been almost 2 weeks since the Capitals have been eliminated from the playoffs. It's been a week since the Hershey Bears have been eliminated, and it's been a month since the Stingrays have been eliminated. There's really nothing much to talk about the Caps this week, besides the fact that Mitch Love is either going to be the Kraken's head coach or the Penguins head coach.
I hope it's the Kraken. I would not. I mean, he would probably be a good fit for the Penguins, but I think he'd be better for the Kraken.
That's all good. I think we could all use a relaxative.
Yeah, you ain't wrong about that.
If I'm not mistaken, that probably explains Jared's absence.
Oh God.
That's what she said.
Probably.
All right. I think today we're just going to do more of a look towards the future kind of episode. We were going to have a guest today, but he could not.
Bailed on us.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that. He had a game today. He had to go to, and it was delayed because of the rain. So he just couldn't make it tonight.
What kind of game?
I think it was baseball.
Oh.
So he will not be here tonight, which is fine.
Really, dog?
So I guess what we'll do is shut up, Gil. What we'll do today is I'm tired. Give me a break. What we'll do today is
Bradley stuff.
We're gonna do more of maybe a little bit of a mock draft for the Capitals today. This won't be the actual mock draft that me and Gil you do next time, which Sean said he'll be on for sure. So, but this will be more of what me and Gil have done in the past of the mock drafts.
Okay.
So let me load it up. Well, first let me show it to you guys so you guys can see it. Gil knows, he knows the routine. Gil knows the routine. Gil knows the routine. Alright, Gil. Do we want to do the Capitals or do we want to do all 32 teams?
Let's just do the Caps.
Do the Caps? All right. Oh, look, they updated the Utah logo. Look at that.
What?
They updated the Utah logo.
I can't see it on my phone. It's too small. I can't see it on my phone. I'll look at it later.
Yeah, you can see that, right?
Barely. It won't let me enlarge it. Wait, hold on.
What is that? Okay, that's fine.
Which tells me they're probably gonna have.
All right, I got it now.
Which tells me, this gives me good hopes because.
Oh yeah, it got the.
Yeah, the mammoth. They didn't say the name though. They're still called the Utah Hockey Club, but they got the logo.
Tusk.
Jesus.
So anyways, we'll do the Capitals today, but stay tuned for the next. I think next week we're not gonna have an episode, but I do think we're gonna do the final mock draft next week, and then because the Memorial Cup is going on right now, I believe it is going on right now, which one of the Caps prospect Cam Allen is playing during that. Yes, the same Cam Allen that got arrested from a DUI.
What?
Yeah, Cam
Huh?
Allen, he got arrested. You didn't know about that?
Cam Allen?
Yeah,
No, I knew about Alexiev.
yeah. Cam Allen was he totaled his car and he fled the scene.
Oh, missed that.
That was like months ago.
Oh,
Okay.
So yeah, the four teams are
okay. Maybe I don't remember it then.
Oceanic, the Tigers because they beat the Chiefs, the Knights, and the Wildcats. I think Oceanic is the hosting team this year because the Wildcats are, I believe, no, Oceanic is QMJHL. Moncton is the host team. Nope, it is Oceanic because it says right here. So yeah, Moncton was the QM. So Medicine Hat is WHL, London is OHL, and Moncton is QMJHL. So these are the okay. So Cam Allen plays for the London Knights. Yeah, he plays for the London Knights. He is more likely going to be with the Caps or the Bears next season as well. I mean, even though he had a DUI, I don't think that's going to affect his career because it really wasn't his fault. He did fled from the scene, but he later in the day did turn himself in. So it was blown out of the proportion. But I mean, if you guys really want to know what happened, I can look it up. So he got fined. He got suspended indefinitely for drunk driving. No one got hurt. Let's just say no one got hurt. So
Yeah, well, hopefully that scares the crap out of him enough they'll never do it again.
probably. So he'll be in Hershey next year. But all right, let's get into this. Let's see if this. You want to do a 7-rounder or? I mean, if it's just us, so we probably could do a 7-rounder because it's not going to be us picking other teams, and I'll have it go really fast. All right, so yep, it has the Islanders at first, and they take Misa. Wow. Okay. Fuck me then, I guess.
All right.
So right now, I think right now the Caps are picking what, 27th?
Yep, 27th. And we are on the clock. And oh, we have a lot of good players. Oh my God, Logan Hensler sitting right there. Jack Nesbitt, freaking William Horcroft, Sasha Budman, Blake Fiddler, Luka Ragovich. Wow, Josh, he went off at 25. Wow. Ah, fuck, the guy I wanted went off at fucking 23. All right, well, Gil, let's flip the coin. Gil,
Well, hold on. What number is the Caps' next pick? What number's their
37.
round 2 pick?
37.
When?
37. 10 picks.
37. So 10 picks later.
Later. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Gil, Cheryl, call it. Heads or tails?
That's
Best 2 out of 3. All right, ready? All
I
right,
guess
heads.
it came up heads.
Cheryl wins. Cheryl gets the pick.
Daryl doesn't know.
Well, then fine.
Okay, Cheryl, I'll give you a hint. The Caps probably should get a goalie, but they're going to probably roll the dice and get a forward.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I will tell you right now, the 3 biggest needs for this team right now is goalie.
Third line center.
No, goalie, future number 1 center, and future number 1 right defenseman. That's
So
the 3.
third line center, Cheryl. That's somebody they got to get now.
Yes.
When you talk about the draft, you're thinking about somebody
3
that's going
years,
to impact
3
the team in like 3-4 years.
3-4 years down the line. So like when Strome is ready to go move down to the 3rd line is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
That's why we got to draft. I think our first pick will be a center this year because we absolutely need a center at that position.
Okay. So it sounds like I'm going to have to do some homework before we do this next time so I know who's out there.
Well, you won't be part of it next time. This is just... That's why I keep you away from this because this is not your expertise.
He's not wrong.
So just
He's
today,
not wrong.
I
I'm
just
just
feel
on
like
for entertainment value. I'm on for the entertainment value today.
I'm just saying. This is not your expertise, Cheryl.
He's not wrong.
The only reason why.
Yes, he could have worded it better, but he's not wrong.
The only reason why we're doing this today is because there's really nothing to talk about. We can talk about hockey, but I mean, I'm gonna save that for
the other thing we can kind of talk about is how the draft actually works. As we're going through it, why teams might trade.
We're gonna do that. In the draft
for
party.
those that are listening that don't understand the process.
We're gonna do that in the draft party.
We're live streaming the draft party.
Yeah.
That's
gonna be the third, and that's gonna be the. So hold on, we got 3 more episodes. So 30, 31, 32, 33.
So not only are we going to have the TV going, we're going to have the computer and the live stream going.
Yeah.
You might want to warn everybody.
All right. So anyways, Gil,
Scoot.
You know what? We'll just keep her as it'll just be me and you. We'll keep Cheryl there to give her inputs.
If I have questions, I will ask.
Yeah. So Gil, I guess we'll do it again. Cheryl, you call it, and then whatever it is, you get the pick.
It's still heads.
Okay, still heads. All right. Best 2 out of 3. All right, tails is 1. Tails. All right. Gil, you're picking first.
Okay, who's left here?
We got a lot of. You want me to pull up this? We're doing center.
Jacko, I can see it.
Yeah.
Jacko. Oh, Bill Horkoff is still left.
So these are all the centers. These are all the centers that are available.
Okay, so who has the potential to be the number 1 center, a future number 1?
Well, you also got to look at that. Which guys are going to go to college and which ones are going to be in the juniors?
Well, okay. On top of that, for me, it's got to be a guy that has really good. This might be a whole lot to ask for a late round pick, but I want the second coming of Nick Backstrom. I want a guy who can play both ways and is a great playmaker.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Question is, can we get it?
Well, you got a guy who is from the OHL, so so. You got a guy from the U.S. National Development Team. That's might be your best shot. You got another guy from Czechia. And you got another guy from Michigan State. They got a pretty good program.
You also got to remember William Horkoff. He's also going to Michigan State.
Can you pull up the physical stats on these guys?
Yeah, let me.
Height, weight, and all that.
Yeah.
Because he's got to have some sort of. He doesn't have to be. You don't have to be the Hulk, but he's got to have some size to him.
The 2 biggest guys are Jake Nesbitt and William Horkoff.
Nesbitt and Horkoff. Okay, well, I get. We just flipped a coin. You can flip a coin on either one of them. I like them both. If I had to pick one, I guess Jack Nesbitt then. If I had to pick one, but I think the Caps will be fine with either one of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the similarities for William Horkoff. It's not showing me what he's being compared to. Maybe right here.
Now that I think about it, he might end up being more like Dubois than anybody, which is fine.
He's more defense. It says it right here. He's more defensive. Whereas the biggest downside in Horkoff's game is his skating, which it's not that different. I mean, like a lot of these players. I mean, look at Andrew Crystal. 2 years ago, he barely could skate, and now look at him now. So it's gonna take time, but
they got time to improve that.
So right here, here's what his potential is. Horkoff possesses qualities that many teams seek in a player willing to put their body on the line. He plays hard, blocks shots, and ensures his time on the ice is always effective. Analyzing his game, one can see that it closely resembles what Brady Tkachuk of the Ottawa Senators brings to his team. Both are high-energy players who make their physical presence felt on the ice and are unafraid to take a shot when the opportunity arises. I mean, we already have someone like that in Ryan Leonard. So, I mean, we don't need another player like Leonard. But let's see what Jack Nesbitt's potential is. Let's see what... Because they have him... They have him close to... let me see... Let's see what they got him here. What website is this one? I used... let me see. Let me see if this guy has one of Jack Nesbitt. Does not say anything about it. What fucking website is this? Hockey Writers. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's his profile. All right. So, Jack Nesbitt is an incredibly smart center who always seems to be in the right place at the right time, whether he's in the defensive zone picking off a pass to the high slot area to prevent a scoring chance against, or whether he's in the offensive zone and always knows where his teammates are on the first shot. Who does that sound like?
Ding, 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 ding.
I'll
take him.
His spatial awareness and hockey IQ are some of the best in this upcoming draft class. Standing at 6'4", Nesbitt prides himself as a power forward who is never afraid to go in the corners and retrieve the puck from the opposing team's defender. He and his line mates, Ethan Belchich, who stands at 6'6", were great forwards for the Spitfires. Both of them use their size to their advantage by retrieving pucks in either in the offensive or defensive zones and were able to send a pass to their teammates, resulting in either a clean defensive breakout or an offensive zone scoring chance. So this is his NFL draft projection. As a center, Nesbitt is a needed player among all NHL teams. His size and hockey smarts are some of his best attributes, and he has a great shot when he is given open space. At this point, he is seen as a late first-round pick or an early second-round pick, depending on references. I could see him slipping into the third round of the upcoming draft as attributes and talents are too good to pass up on. I could not see him. So this person right here, the writer, says they can't see him falling to the third round, which I mean makes sense. So here's his strengths. Hockey IQ, his size, his shot, his physicality, and his awareness. Which means he needs more improvement, is speed and skating. So here's his potential right here. Players like Nesbitt will always take longer to develop because of their size, and with him being a power forward, he may take even longer than usual, which is what we need right now because Dylan Strome is not going anywhere to be the first. He's the first line center going forward until, say, a Jack Nesbitt is ready. But once he has fully developed and matured as a player, he could become a dominant force for any NHL team. With his great IQ and offense awareness, he could be a great second-line center in the NHL, in some opinions, top-line center, who can complement his top-line counterpart very well. I could see him becoming a point-per-game scorer once he becomes an established player.
Oh, stop it, you two!
I was gonna say, his skill set sounds more like a fit for a second-line center, which I'll take any day.
Yes. But we need a number one line center in the future.
We need a number one, but there's nothing that says you can't flip-flop.
Yeah. So I think the guy I really want went off the board at 23. So let's pull up his stuff. So Jack Murtaugh, first word that comes to mind when you mention Jack Murtaugh is workhorse. He plays an uncomplicated game and has no problem doing the dirty work on the forecheck or along the wall. Playing for the United States National Team Development Program, Murtaugh has 16 goals, 21 assists in 53 games. One of the main traits you notice about Murtaugh is his willingness to play in front of the net. The Boston University commit has the desirable combinations of will, skill, and is never afraid to get the puck to the net. Murtaugh does not stand out as an elite stick handler, but he has the showcased quick hands to avoid stick checks, extend plays, and move the puck into better areas, which is exactly what the Capitals struggled to do against Carolina. His shot carries a lot of power, especially on his one-timer. He's a straight-line puck carrier and shooter who plays with great pace and intensity. He is also an active playmaker, keeping his head on the swivel as he attacks downhill. So the 17-year-old is a strong skater, and his speed and agility allow him to push the pace and attack defenders head-on. His speed is top end, as he has an extra gear that allows him to separate and beat defenders. He is a strong athlete who can play through strong sides and push tempo in straight lines or round corners with speed to get his spots. While his skating is technically strong and effective, it lacks some explosiveness to be able to shift pace quickly, which he can learn when he plays in college. His shot is also a strength, as he gets it off quickly and can do it at a top speed. Murtaugh has a dangerous and deceptive in motion NHL release, which he hides well pre-shot. He also has an effective one-timer in his arsenal, which he has used well for the USN TDP and the power play. His shot and speed and strength make him a formidable offensive force. Which, let's get into his strengths. Great shot, strong with his quickly, strong skating skills, completes hard, improving playmaking abilities, which is what we need for a center. What needs to be improvement is his defensive engagement, his decision-making with the puck, and puck passing efficiency, which he will get going to the Boston University. Their head coach is really good. He's probably arguably the third best head coach in all of college hockey. Murtaugh's improving playmaking game. So here's his potential. Murtaugh's improving playmaking game, ancestral motor and physicality, and established goal scoring potencies offers a variety of strengths that could easily see him as a bottom six checking foot while showing the potential of developing into a top six power forward skills. So he has potential to be a top line center. That's who I want. But since he was already taken at 23rd on the board,
I can't see somebody like that, falling that far.
Yeah. So there's Horkoff and Nesbitt. So let's look at the other two guys. So the other two guys are Milton Gastrin, who is someone we had mocked to the Capitals back in our very first mock draft.
He's the Swedish guy, right?
He's the Swedish center. So Milton is the next in a line of talented hockey players to come out of the small town of, I'm not even going to pronounce that, Sweden, a town whose history includes players like the Sedin twins, Peter Forsberg, Victor Hegman, and many, many more. Gastrin is a reliable two-way center who has been excellent offensively against his peers in Sweden while still showing the defensive commitment to earn a handful of games in the SHL. Already early on in his career, he's a hard worker who skates well and has no clear weaknesses in his game. The only limiting factor for him as the draft process will be the questions surrounding his ultimate offensive potential. If he doesn't take much of a step forward offensively in the coming years, Gastrin will still likely become a long-time NHL contributor. However, some growth in his shot, I don't want him. That's too much work. That's just too much work. We need someone that doesn't need this much work. I mean, his potential right here is a second-line center, but he could be more likely a strong third-line center. We don't need that right now. We need a third-line center now, not then. So, I'm just going to back away on that one. You can go fuck yourself, Milton. You can go play for Dallas. You can go play for Dallas or Minnesota or Detroit. Detroit loves their Swedish players. All right, let's look at another guy that could potentially be Riker Lee. Sounds like a fucking Confederate general in the Civil War.
I was thinking Star Trek as in Commander Riker. But,
All right, so Riker Lee is a young forward who impacts all three zones and forechecks hard. He doesn't just dump the puck. He dumps and chases, makes sure he gets possession back, and creates extra scoring chances out of nothing. With a high hockey IQ, he sets up goals, a lot of goals with his slick dekes, leading to the Medicine Capitals in points this season. The United States Hockey League Rookie of the Year finished with 68 points in 58 regular season games, recording more assists than goals. He tacked on 6 more points through the Clark Cup playoffs, which is the USHL's equivalent to the other championships. His playmaking ability and offensive consistency made him a major asset, placing him 4th in points across the entire USHL regular season, the best among all rookies. So, let's look at his his draft projection. So he is a mid to late second round center. Second round. So if we don't go center, we could get him in the second round. His strengths are deking, playmaking, forechecking, offensive generator, power play scoring. I wonder who needs that.
Yeah. Gee, can't imagine.
Under construction improvements to make. Overall defensive games, skating, and physicality. So here's his potential.
How old is he?
He's only 17.
Oh, well.
Lee has the potential to be a top 6 forward at the NHL level with his offensive generation. He's a little underrated in this draft because the CHL guys get most of the attention, but the USHL is a harder league to play in, especially defensively, where teams are more structured and tougher to break down. The fact that he put up the numbers he did in such a tight-checking league shows how well he can create and make big plays in the moment. Now heading to Michigan State University, Lee will have the chance to develop his defensive game while continuing to build his offensive skills on a championship contending team that will likely have 13 draft picks on their 25-26 roster. Well, that doesn't sound like us.
Not
Really?
We don't have 13 picks. His style does. His style would complement us very well. He has the ability to make plays, and he's a power play scorer, which we need on the power play. I just don't think we're going to draft him at 27 because, but I mean, if we want to go defensive way, there's one guy we could there's Logan Hensler sitting on the board here, but I don't think he's going to logically be sitting there come actual draft day next month. There is Charlie Trethway. I could see a lot of these guys coming up. I mean, look at this. Fucking Carlos Handel. Roman Rusev. All right, so Gil, it is your pick. Who are we taking?
Well, like I say, you put a gun to my head. I say, I mean, it's if it comes down between Nesbitt and Horkoff, Nesbitt.
Okay. Jack Nesbitt with the 27th overall pick. All right. We're back with the 37th overall pick. This could go two ways. I mean, we could go defense, or we can go goalie with a certain goalie named Jack Ivankovic sitting on the board.
You don't like Ravensburg anymore?
He was already taken.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was taken 25th overall. I don't know why the Blackhawks drafted him, but they drafted him. Blackhawks don't need a goalie. They got Spencer Knight. Why the fuck are they drafting? Spencer Knight's only 23. Why are they drafting freaking a goalie in this draft? He's 24. He just turned 24. Why are they drafting a goalie?
I don't know. Because it's Chicago.
This mock draft makes no sense. They just got Logan Hensler in the second round. Oh my god. What a steal. The Caps need to go goalie. This is their biggest need outside of center.
I say they should go goalie this round.
We have 4 picks within the first 70 picks of this draft. I think we have 4 picks, I believe. 4 picks, maybe in the first 80 picks. Let me see how many picks the Capitals have. I know we have a total of, I think, 6. But
the question is, if we don't pick goalie in the second round, will there be one available the next pick we have?
Not one that's worth having.
Right. So I say we go, if we
This
don't go
is what I'm
goalie in the
saying.
first round, if we do get Nesbitt in the first round, we get goalie with the second
you
pick.
have to go goalie. You got to go goalie. This is the best chance to get a goalie, an potential elite goalie in your system since Ilya Samsonov back in 20. And the last time we drafted a goalie like that high was Samsonov in 2015. We haven't drafted a goalie
Right.
since.
No, and we need one badly.
Or do they expect Nicholas Kemp to rise above the masses and become a dominant goalie? I just don't think they will. Grant can
I
laugh
don't know
at
if
me
he's
all
going to
I
have enough
want.
time.
Grant could laugh at me all I want. He laughed at me in the Power Play Point podcast. I don't know why. Because clearly this is a need we need, and this is the best opportunity to get one. We have I would love to burn a pick on a goalie. Like, you can't have, like, one, you can't have enough goalies, and two, you just this class is the best goalie class we had in a long time. You're not gonna get a goalie next year because next year would be the year that you start looking at a potential goalie to eventually come in the system and replace down the line Logan Thompson. Because, like, if you look at it, behind Thompson and Lindgren, there's Stevenson. Shepard's gone. Shepard's not coming back this offseason. He's gone.
No.
So who's gonna be backing Stevenson up in the next couple of years? You get a goalie here.
I'll answer that question. Mitchell Gibson.
Do you really trust Gibson to back Stevenson up?
I think he's ready. Back up in the AHL, how many games do you expect him to play? 30, 40?
Yeah. All right, so
That's fair.
Our next pick after... All right, so we don't have a third rounder, which is weird. Okay, so we gave up our third rounder to Vegas. Okay, so we got the third rounder.
I was gonna say, didn't we trade that?
We got a third rounder. We're picking at 94. So we got 94, and we're picking. So we got 3 picks in the top 100, and then our next picks are this 123, which is a 4th rounder. Then we got a 5th rounder. I think we have a 5th rounder. Yeah, 155. And then we traded our 6th rounder to get a 7th rounder. So we have a lot of 7th round picks, but I don't think we're going to use those. We're just going to flip them. So let's just say we have 3 picks in the top 100. I just don't think we're going to get a goalie past that, and I think here is the time to get it. You're 10 picks away from after getting a center. You got your one need that you needed. Let's get the other need. Let's get the goalie, draft the goalie, get him in our system. But the question is, who are we taking? Are we going to take the kid out of London, the kid out of Brampton, or do we go the Russian route and get the kid out of the KHL?
A goalie?
Yeah, I'm talking to Gil.
Oh, well, I picked last.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking. Like, I'm picking now, but I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Samsonov soured me. No Russian goalies.
So,
too much of a head case.
So these 2 are out then. Well, let's see the.
Isn't Ivan Kovic the best available?
Yes.
At that point?
Yes.
Okay, then take him. Simple.
But that's not how the NHL works. That's not how the NHL works. This isn't football. This isn't football. You don't take the best available. You take the goalie that's on your radar. But the thing is, we don't know who's on the Caps' radar. It could be the kid out of fucking
Radar Schmadar.
The kid out of Swiss.
Samsonov was a big ass fail.
The kid out of fucking Swiss. The Elijah Nushawanda could be our fucking pick at 37.
Well, okay, he's actually a stud because he carried that Swiss team in the World Juniors.
Yeah, but I don't think you're taking him at 37. And I think he's probably going to a team like Seattle later in the rounds. All right, so this is the Alexei Medvedev kid. He was one of the half of the London Knights goalies duo that earned the Dave Pickney Trophy, which is awarded to the goalies of the team with the least amount of goals against during the OHL season, which is pretty hard because the OHL, you score a lot of goals. Alongside Austin Elliott this season, however, Alexei Medvedev was somewhat overshadowed by the incredible season that Elliott had for the team. Still, Medvedev came in as a rookie in the OHL. So both of these goalies aren't going to be ready, aren't even going to see AHL time for another 2 years. So, still, Medvedev came in as an OHL rookie and played 34 games for the Knights with a 2.7 goals against for an average, a 9.12 or .912 save percentage, and a 22.82 record. In early December, he earned both the OHL's Goaltender of the Week and OHL's Rookie of the Week honors, have recording his first OHL shutout. Medvedev was a second-round pick for the Knights in the 2023 OHL priority selection. So the CHL has their own mini draft, just to let you know, Cheryl.
Gotcha.
and has fit right in with one of the league's more storied franchises. Which you remember, you know who coaches the London Knights, right?
I do.
No.
Dale Hunter.
Oh, that's right.
He owns actually part of the team too. Well, he
Did
has,
not know that.
yeah, he has part ownership to the Knights. I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, because that's why he went back
does.
to coach to them. Yes, Dale Hunter, along with his brother Mark and Basil McRae, purchased the London Knights in May 2000 from the Terry family, so they own the London Knights. But anyways, Medvedev, so he was second round pick of the league, more storied franchise. While he had some shaky moments early on in the season, the Russian-born goaltender found his groove and helped the Knights clinch the division, the conference, and the OHL regular season championship. He also claimed the Rookie of the Month in November. So all I'm saying is, yes, the Samsonov, uh, it it kind of it kind of left a bad stain for the Caps fans, but it doesn't mean that ownership shouldn't draft another Russian goalie if he is there. You know, most have him projected as a late round second pick in the range of 57 to 64, while our rankers have him as a third round pick. His recent play and the fact that he's just finished up his rookie season could bode well for the young goaltender. As of now, the worst case is that he falls to the third round, but this could be a player we look back on wondering why he was passed over in the second round. So let's see his potential. Goaltenders can be a little tougher to read in terms of their long-term development. Early on, it seems as though Medvedev could be a goalie to watch for in the future. If he can add some size and muscle to his frame, he has the potential to be an NHLer down the road. The when is more of a question mark. That said, if he continues to develop in the right way with the Knights and beyond that, Medvedev could be a mainstay in the NHL in the next 5 or 6 seasons. And I wonder who's going to need a goalie in the next 5 or 6 seasons. But Jack, let's look at Jack. Ivan Kovic. The only reason why I would probably take Medvedev over Jack is because Jack is under 6 feet, which can be a very. Jack Ivanovich is not a hockey writer. He's a goaltender who's. Okay, so heading into the season, Ivan Kovic was considered one of the top goaltending prospects in the 2025 NHL entry draft. Although he has fallen off slightly during his season with the Steelheads, he has still had a great season for Brampton as their number one option after being given blah, blah, blah. So his projection at the start of the season, Ivan had a chance to sneak into the final picks of the first round, but a low save percentage this season may put that to rest. However, with his undeniable skill in net, he will likely be drafted in the middle of the second round. I couldn't see him slipping into the third. So here's his potential. Igovic has real potential, NHL potential. Some have seen him as the next great. All right, fuck it. That's all I needed to hear. All right, Gil. What?
I said I told you.
That's all I needed to hear. He has his confidence in net and a calm demeanor when games get tight. This is what all teams look for in a goaltender. If he continues on the track, he could be an NHL starter in the next 5 years. All right.
Sounds like a playoff goalie to me.
Well, his under 18 World Juniors is what really is going to rise his stock.
Yeah, true.
Because he had such an amazing World Juniors. And he helped Canada to gold. I mean, these are the games that he's got in 6 games for Canada in the under 18. He has a .961 save percentage, and he was in the World Juniors for the year when the USA won. Gail, we're on the clock by the way at 94. He had in one game he had a .923 save percentage. They lost, but he played well. All right, Gil. Where do we go here? I think we got to take defense, right?
Yeah, probably.
We need a right-handed defenseman in our system. This kid came out of nowhere. What a name, though. You see that name?
John Barnhill.
What a name. What a name.
And he's from Iowa.
He's going to Northeastern next year, which is weird. I know. No, he's actually from Arizona.
Oh, even better.
He was born in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. He played for the Iowa team, the Dubach Fighting Saints. So we also
What's his? Yeah, open it.
He's 6'5", 205, shoots
right-handed.
That's what we need in a right-handed defenseman. There's also this kid, 6'5", 214, shoots right. David, another great name, David Badowski. David Badowski puts him to bed. Badowski. He is... Okay, so what is your pick, Gil?
I still like Barnhill.
Barnhill? All right. I think we go forward on our next pick. Alright, I think we're going to go forward here. I think, oh my god, what a name. Shama Moses. What a name.
That's a name.
Shama Moses. He's got to be Muslim.
Well, that's going to be one problem if they draft him.
What?
He can't play on Sundays.
Actually, it would be Saturdays, but
I wonder if he's Muslim. I wonder if he is Muslim.
Shema Moses, most likely Jew or Jewish.
Maybe Jewish.
So he wouldn't be able to play on Saturdays, but he would be able to part the ice, right? Split the. Oh, will you guys stop? Jesus. Sebastian, will you leave him alone? I don't even know where he is. I think he's in the.
Let's take him.
We need a new cat tree. He's what?
We took him. We took Shamar Moses.
Oh, all right.
Because there's really no one left. There's really no one else on this board that I wanted. At this point, we're later in the drafts. I just don't think we're gonna. I wouldn't be shocked if we end up trading our later picks. Because at this point, we're looking for players that are going to develop in the next 3 years. Next year is where we're going to see us trading away our picks. If we're in position to compete. All right, Gil, your pick is on the clock.
What are we in? 5th round now?
Yeah, 5th round.
Yeah. Minnesota.
What a name. What a fucking name.
Oh, wow. They could do something really funny here.
What's that?
A couple of Finnish guys available.
You think they take a Finn?
They probably won't. I would love for somebody to find out what the F their problem is with Finnish players. I really want to know.
They just don't perform well in DC.
That's not true.
That's probably their thought, is that they just don't perform well in DC. Like, I mean, we're not the only franchise that doesn't take Finns. Like,
okay, but look who's left in the playoffs. Look who's left in the playoffs now.
Dallas has
Dallas.
Finns.
They got
Florida.
half their fucking team is Finnish.
Florida has a couple Finns.
Florida's got at least 2 or 3.
Sebastian Aho is a Finn. So
there you go.
But look who's up. Look who's up in the series against Dallas. I don't think Edmonton has a single Finn on their roster.
They do.
Who?
Kasperi Kapanen.
Is he on their roster?
Yes, he is. He scored the winning goal the other night.
Oh shit, he is. Well, then I'll take it back. uh, I don't know. Like you said, we're not the only team that doesn't take Finn players. I mean, if you look at it, Chicago rarely takes Finn players. The Rangers, outside of the Capo Caco.
Yeah, look where both of those teams are right now.
And Capo and then look what they did with the one Finn player they took.
They screwed him over.
And they took him and they traded him
and
away.
he immediately got better.
I just don't think Finn players will I feel like we're more of a Swedish organization. Like, we like our Swedish players. I mean, look at the amount of Swedish players we drafted. Nicholas Backstrom. Nylander. I don't think we drafted him. We signed him.
Didn't draft him, just signed him.
Signed Nylander. I mean, Jonas Siegenthaler, he's Swiss, right?
Siegenthaler?
Siegenthaler's Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss. Siegenthaler's Swiss.
Mojo, right?
Marcus Johansson.
Yeah.
We love Swiss players too, because I mean,
I can't wait to see what Matejko does next year. Oh no, he's Latvian. Never mind.
Christian Jews, the Lord and Savior that won us the Stanley Cup. Christian Jews.
Right.
He was the key factor in winning that series against Pittsburgh. Rasmus Sandin. Who's another big Swede that we drafted?
We didn't draft Sandine. We traded
No.
for him, right?
Traded for
No,
him.
but these are all the Swedish people we got. So here we got Nicholas Backstrom, Marcus Johansson, Michael Nylander, Christian Jews, Rasmus Sandin, Andre Burakovsky, Kalle Johansson, Josef Bundin, which makes me think. No, Sasha Bundin is Swedish. I think that's his kid. That might be his kid.
Could be.
Well, he's Finnish. No, he's Swedish. His kid, I think, his son is Sasha, or he could be his nephew. He's got an Algerian father. Look at that. I think Sasha Boomdeen's arguably going to be the best defenseman in this draft class. But because this is such a heavy forward draft class, he's going to fall. Which is probably why Logan Hensler fell to the second round in this mock draft. Gil, you're on the clock, right?
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
All
his
right,
father's
so
yes.
fine. They won't take a Finn.
His father is Joseph Boomdeen. So his father, the former Washington Capital. Fuck it. I want Sasha Boomdeen in the first round. I want to draft Joseph's kid.
Okay.
How long did he play with us? He only played a season.
Not long, maybe a
Not
year.
very long.
He played one season with us. In 2003. No, 2003, 2004. Fuck it. Draft his son. He's on my radar. He is on my radar, but we don't need a left-handed defenseman. But anyways, I just think we're more of a Swedish organization.
All right, fine.
Remember, we even drafted Phyllis Forsberg, who's also Swedish. Eric Gustafsson we signed, Swedish. Or is it the other Gustafsson?
Wow, I'm surprised this guy. I thought he was better than that. Carl Onborn?
Yeah.
All the way down to the 5th round? He might be a steal.
You know who could also be a steal? Where's he going?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
No, I'm being serious. I think I didn't even realize he played for the Chicago Steel. No, I think he could be a steal for the Caps. Where is he going next year?
Really, another center?
I mean, that's one of our weakest. He's going to Boston College. You know how successful we are with Boston College players.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Teddy Merton.
Teddy Merton.
Hmm.
I mean, we don't need I do think we need more centers than just one center in the draft. Last year we didn't really draft. I don't think we drafted a center at all.
Not that I
No,
remember.
whole lot of wingers.
So I think this
It'd
year
be nice to have a few centers in our back pocket.
this year I think we should go center. I think we should double dip on center. I wouldn't be shocked if 3 of our picks
Excellent.
this year are center, because we need that's been our biggest hole for a while in a draft in our system has been center.
Yeah. Just make sure they fill that goalie hole while the.
I think we're taking a goalie at our second pick. I think it's the worst kept
I think
secret.
we have to take a goalie.
It's the
with our
worst kept
second
secret
pick.
that the Capitals are drafting a goalie in the first 2 picks. Here you go, Gil. It's your pick.
All right, fine.
What a name. Jamara Reber.
I think you're drafting just because you like the name.
Carl Onborn.
Why not? Why not? These names are awesome. Come on. Tell me why you wouldn't want to have a Shamar Moses.
How about that guy? Okay, you want Swedish? Felix Farhamar.
Fucking
Okay.
Teddy Merton went to the fucking Rangers. God damn it. We're not picking in the
Ew.
6th round, I think.
I don't see it.
We don't pick again until the 7th. I think we have like 3 7th round picks.
Oh my god.
I'm not even worth it at that point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we took Miroslav Shatan's kid, and he could break the lineup as a 4th line player. I mean, he did look good in the freaking World Juniors. I mean, look at Peter Sikora. Oh no, we don't have a 7th round pick. We traded all of them. Never mind. I thought we did have a 7th rounder. I guess not. Alright, Gil. Final results. So with our first round pick, we took Jack Nesbitt. Our second pick, we took Jack Ivankovich. Our third pick, we took Sam Barnold. Our fourth pick, we took Shamar Moses, savior of the Red Sea. We took...
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word.
If we end up drafting this guy, that should be his motto. He just enters the room, and the players spread like the Red Sea.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying a word now.
That would be.
And you know what?
The scary thing, Marcus, is I was thinking exactly the same thing.
That would be something.
Oh God.
The players would do. They would fucking do that.
They absolutely would. They absolutely would.
And with our last pick, we took Carl Anborn. Gil, how would you feel if we drafted this?
That's not a bad looking draft. I think we'd do pretty well with that lineup. I don't think something tells me, except for the goalie, that's not going to be anywhere near what they do. But
yeah,
you know,
I think Jack Murtaugh will be. He'll probably end up being our pick at 27 because I think Jack Nesbitt is going to go before 27. The fact that he fell to 27 is just crazy. I think that's more of a pick. I also don't think it very well could be goalie at 27. I just don't think Chicago is drafting Joshua Ravensbergen. I feel like Nashville needs him more than Chicago because Chicago just traded for Spencer Knight, who's only 24 years old. Like, even when Joshua Ravensbergen, he develops, Spencer Knight's still going to be in his 20s. So why the hell would they draft another goalie? You know? Makes no sense. And I don't think Chicago is almost ready to come out of the rebuild. Like, they have their prospects ready to go. Then now is the time to add veterans. It's time to, they looked bad last year, but if I was telling I think it was Sherry. I think it was either Sherry or someone else at work. I was telling him, I said, look at how Chicago played once they got Oliver Moore, Sam Rinzel. They got all these other like Frank Nazar. When they got all these players to come over and they started playing, they looked better. They look like they're having fun. They look now the Jeff Base the Blazo Hill or the Blaze Hill signing might have set them back, but I still think he's a good enough coach to get them to where they need to go. And maybe he's learned a little bit after being under John Cooper the last 2 years. Maybe he's learned. Maybe he can do like a coach needs another chance. Look at Lane Lambert. I think Lane Lambert has learned a lot under Craig Berube. I think Lane Lambert is the next head coach for Seattle. It's the worst kept secret. Which that leads us into our next segment. The Boston Bruins have a new head coach, Gil.
Oh, they finally announced it?
Yep.
Yeah, they finally announced it. Oh, I thought they did.
I saw it earlier on Facebook. Hold on.
They're teasing that all week.
Bruins closing in on a new head coach. So Marco Sturm, yeah, it's the worst kept secret. Marco Sturm is so you know what? Actually, I take it back. Lane Lambert might stay in Toronto because right now, sources Kevin Weekes came out and said Jay Woodcroft, Mitch Love, and Marco Sturm are among the famous as potential hires as head coaches for the Bruins, Penguins, and Seattle Kraken. So whoever gets Jay Woodcroft, the other team's getting Mitch Love. Pittsburgh, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Oh no, Pittsburgh, do the wrong thing. Go get Jay Woodcroft.
Yes. I thought that's who they were looking at anyway. Weren't we talking about that last time?
Yeah, but that was before Mitch Love had that amazing interview with them.
Oh.
Mitch Love's a goner.
Well, shit.
He's a goner.
Yeah, we know.
Well, that
Sucks
kind
for
of leads
us.
us to our next question.
Who replaces him?
Yeah, what are we going to do when the
Yep.
love is gone?
I mean, yeah.
I wanted Brad Shaw, but Devils already scooped him up.
Oh, Bradshaw. What the Capitals are probably going to do is hire from within.
Yeah.
Figure
Bradshaw would have been amazing.
call up Todd Nelson.
No, he's not. He's not going to want to be an assistant. I'm thinking one of the assistants in the AHL. There's a really good assistant, the Bears assistant head coach that could potentially be a coach in the near future. Who is it? Is it? I don't think it's Mike Havland. It's the John Paddock, maybe.
No, I think it's the other guy.
Alvin John Paddock. Nick Bootland. That's who I'm thinking of. Nick Bootland. This guy. I think this guy should be looked at as a potential replacement for Mitch Love. He was a head coach in the ECHL as well for 13 years. So he has experience as a head coach. And in his first 2 years of that, they've won back-to-back championships. So I think it's either going to be it's probably going to be Nick Bootland as our next assistant head coach to replace Mitch Love, which wouldn't be a bad hire because look what he did for the Bears.
Right.
And he's only 3 years older than freaking Spencer Carberry, which is insane to think.
Okay.
So Nick Bootland would be my pick. He'd be my choice to be the next assistant head coach because he's a coach in the waiting. He's a guy that's going to be either an AHL coach sometime next year or an NHL coach as well. So, Gil, you've seen how he was able to handle the Bears the last 2 seasons. Would you be upset if we replaced when Mitch Love leaves? This would be our replacement.
Not really, but if we're shooting for the cup within 2-3 years, yeah, I don't know. I kind of want a guy who's been at that level, at the NHL level for a while
Yeah, but I also
and knows.
I look at this as well. I also look at the fact that he has championship uh, capability in his blood because he did help coach the Bears championships, and I also think he helped the team in the ECHL win a title as well. Let me see the Kalamu.
Sebastian, get over here. Sebastian.
So the Kalamus have won 2 championships. So 2006, I think he was their head coach.
You.
Let's see what he was doing. Coaching.
He's gone, Jazz.
So he played with them, actually. So he played with them and won the championship in 2006. So he has championship. So he didn't start head coaching them until... Actually, yeah, he didn't start head coaching until 2008. But still, he has head coaching ability under his belt. He was a director of operations as well for the Wings. So I don't even think they exist anymore. Do they still exist?
The
Well, they
Kalamazoo Wings?
Yeah, they still exist. So we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I think it's better to get him. It's better to hire within because I think I'd rather see him get a promotion. I don't think Todd Nelson is going to come up. I mean, what could happen though? I mean, Todd Nelson could get promoted to the assistant coach, and this guy becomes the next Bears head coach. I mean, that could be what they do. The players really love this guy in Hershey, so I could see that happening, Gil. That Todd Nelson becomes our next assistant coach. Then Todd Nelson becomes the head coach after next year. He after next season, he spends 1 season with us, and then we promote. I guess we promote this guy, and then they go from there. We'll see, but it looks like Marco Sturm will be is the Boston Bruins head coach, and I think it's a good hire. It's a very good hire for Boston. I think right now Boston is heading towards a rebuild. And I think Marco Sturm is the head coach they need to hire to get ready for that. I mean, he's also a former Bruin. He won the Stanley Cup with them as well. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. No, he didn't win it with them. Never mind. He was with the LA Kings. He played for us for a little bit. Look at that.
Yep, sure did.
He was traded after. He was traded before they won the Cup. So, he was with the Kings in 2011. So he didn't even win a cup. He was traded to Vancouver the year the Kings won the cup. Wow.
Oh God.
Well, he went to us. He went to us in 2011. Then I think he signed with Vancouver. Then he was traded to Florida. So he didn't play for Vancouver in the playoffs. He played for Florida, which Florida lost to New Jersey, I think. Yeah, they lost to New Jersey that year because that was the year we got embarrassed by. The Rangers in Game 7 in the second round. So it'll be interesting to see, Gil. I don't know what the Capitals' off-season plans are. I mean, we can look it up. Off-season predictions. I mean, we'll probably look at it again.
Yeah, I mean, the official word was that everything is on the table, but you never know.
So Cheryl, we made a little off-season prediction last episode, and me and Gil we agreed. We kind of agreed. I just don't think there's anyone out there besides one player, and I just don't think he wants to come here because he's not going to play top 6 minutes. We don't need him to play top 6 minutes. I just don't think. I mean, I think Brock Bessier could fit on this team. I just don't think he will fit in the bottom 6. I mean, we could move McMichael down to the third line and be our third line center, and have Miro, McMichael, Leonard as our third line, and move Protas over to the left, and have, or is Brock Bessier a left winger or right winger?
I don't know. Is that Mark Messier's kid?
Brock Besser.
Oh, Besser. Sorry, I thought you said Messier.
Jesus Christ.
I can't. Yeah, shut up.
So I mean that could figuratively. I mean that could work. He's a right wing. So yeah, we could put because Protas is naturally is a center, but he could play both sides as well. So I mean that could be it. We could have Protas, Dubois, Bessier, or Brock Besser uh, on the second line. I just don't think the Caps are willing to go out and get a guy like that. I think we're going to be looking at the third line. So
Well, what about Ovi? Did we keep him on the
no,
top
fuck
line?
no. You put his ass on the third line. You put his ass on
Okay,
the third line.
that's what I was thinking.
I'm sorry,
I was
but
like,
Ovi's ass is going on the third line.
Ovi has done his job. He needs to. It's now time for him to rest and enjoy his last year, with no pressure, no. There's no goal thing to chase anymore. There's no more
Hey,
records for him
hey,
to chase.
oh,
He
he's from
needs this year
Florida.
play those third line and just enjoy himself.
They're from Florida. I didn't realize they were from Florida. Gil, how pissed would you be if we made a trade for Quinn Hughes?
Oh
Depends
God.
on what goes the other way.
Uh, I mean, does he play in the right side or the left side? Oh, he's a left-sided. Uh, that is a good question. I mean, we could probably give them Crystal, Sandine, and potential first-round pick. But we need someone on the right side. If he was a right-sided defenseman,
Well, all right. Let me put cold ice on that one for you. Quinn Hughes ain't coming here. That's for
oh
damn
hell
sure.
no, hell no. If he's
Ain't
going anywhere,
happening.
if
He
he's
wants
go-
to play
in New
He wants to
Jersey,
play with his
brothers,
brothers.
yes. If he's going anywhere, he is going to go to New Jersey because
New
that's where he
Jersey.
wants to play. Now I'm gonna put this also on ice for all the Caps fans that have been screaming and thinking we're gonna go after this guy. We're not signing Mitchell Marner. Sorry to burst your
Hell
bubbles.
yes.
No.
Thank you.
We're not signing
Thank
Mitchell
you,
Marner.
almighty SUCRAM.
No. We
The
are
mighty
not.
SUCRAM welcomes his worship. Mitchell Marner is not
Jesus
coming here.
Christ. What Caps fan in their right mind would want that guy?
Half the fucking people on Twitter.
Don't get me started. Good God.
We
Oh
will-
my God, there's
we
this
would
one
sign-
guy.
We would sign
Jesus.
Brennan Marchand before we'd sign Mitchell Marner.
I would 100% rather Marchand than Marner.
That'd be a hell of a signing, to be honest.
If Marchand
Actually,
ended
it
up
would not be a bad. Actually, you know what? It would be
if you cut off Marchand's right leg and left arm, I would still sign him over Marner. I am not kidding.
I'm totally with you, Gil. Completely with you on that one.
He'd be like the Black Knight in Monty Python's Holy Grail. It's just a flesh
It's
wound.
but a scratch.
We would trade for Sidney Crosby before we'd sign Mitch Marner.
Hell yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind that either. There's our third line center. Shit, we win the cup. Honestly. Sidney Crosby, he's not
Yeah,
slowing.
we would.
Sidney Crosby's not slowing down. As much as I hate the Penguins, Crosby's not the reason why they're sucking.
No, I have a great deal of respect for Crosby as a player.
80 points,
just
third
an
line
asshole.
center. I'll take that any day.
Yeah,
But how many
you're not
fans?
kidding.
How many Caps fans would hate if we traded for Sidney Crosby?
All of them?
He's got 90 points in his last 3 games. His last 3 seasons, and he is freaking 37 years old. He's doing all that
Yeah.
shit. He's not the problem.
Yeah. No, he is not the problem.
But one, Pittsburgh's not going to trade into us. Two, Crosby doesn't want to leave Pittsburgh. He wants to retire a Penguin.
Oh yeah,
He's won 3 cups.
as he should.
He's won 3 cups. He doesn't need another one. He doesn't need another one.
Nope.
Doesn't need one, but he sure wants one.
He wants one, but he doesn't need
Well, they
one.
all want one.
Every player wants one. But if Sidney Crosby told you if he could win another Stanley Cup or retire a Penguin, he'd probably pick retire a Penguin.
Probably.
If he didn't win a Stanley Cup, yes, he would probably choose the Cup. But the fact that he's won 3 of them and he's won all 3 of them with Pittsburgh,
Yeah, he's got nothing. He's got nothing left to prove.
yeah, he's won a gold medal in almost all the tournaments. He's got 3 Stanley Cups. He's got all these
First ballot
trophies.
Hall of
He's a
Famer. He
first
has
ballot Hall of
nothing
Famer.
left to prove.
I would not be shocked if he becomes a Hall of Famer within the 3 years after he retires.
Oh, they wait. Yeah, they waive it for him. I'm sure.
And the same thing can be said for Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid, once he wins that first cup, he's gonna win multiple. This could be a year that they could win it, but the fact that they lost Zach Hyman last night tells me they're probably gonna lose.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Which leads us into our final segment for this episode, Gil. Our final predictions for the Stanley Cup Final, as this coming week will be the debut of the NHL 32 Watch podcast, where we'll be live streaming the Stanley Cup Final and reviewing the games. I am looking forward to that. Gil, it's looking like we're heading towards a rematch of last year's final. We were so off on our picks. You picked Colorado, bro. You picked Colorado the last time.
Yeah, because I fell for that whole Landeskog thing, but
I mean, it could still work. It could still happen next year. I was looking at that and I was thinking, well, if you look at half their roster, they traded for half their roster, so they only had a small time to play with each other. So what if you give them a full offseason together? We'll see what
70-year-old Brock Nelson did nothing.
That was terrible. That was probably their worst trade. I mean, Charlie Coyle played well for them. Jack Drury played really well for them. Martin Nashis looked really good for them. So I think that Brock Nelson just didn't live up to their hype. And they need a second line center. They haven't had one since they traded or they left. They lost Nazem Kadri to offseason. But let's get into the final. The Stanley Cup Finals. Let's look at the schedule. So the finals. The finals would hopefully start. Okay, so this is wrong. It says the Oilers and Stars are the Stanley Cup Final. This is the conference finals. So the Stanley Cup Finals could potentially start as of June 1st. Would be the latest.
Sorry about that.
June 1st.
Which is Sunday. Because tonight's Game 5. If Carolina wins, they play again on Friday. And if Dallas wins tomorrow, they play again on Saturday. So the earliest would be probably the 1st. Well, no, the earliest actually would probably be the 3rd. Because Game 7s would be the 1st and 2nd. So the earliest would be the 3rd. Or the latest would be the 3rd probably. But the earliest could be the 1st. Actually, the earliest could be the 30th. 30th
That's
to 31st. If Edmonton and Florida win, so if Florida wins tonight, they move on. If Edmonton wins tomorrow, they move on. The earliest would be the 31st. But I think Dallas wins tomorrow night to force Game 6. I think Carolina could potentially win tonight as well. Because Florida's missing they're missing some key players.
They're all starting. They're all playing tonight. All
okay.
three of them.
Okay.
He already said.
All right, it's over.
Yeah, they're all three coming back.
It's over.
They want to put them away.
It's over. That was a wake-up call last night, or the other night too. Like, they're gonna pounce on them tonight. So, but it's looking like a Stanley Cup Final rematch. And I have a feeling, like I was telling Sherry, my coworker, I said that this feels a lot like the Penguins-Red Wings. Where the Red Wings beat the Penguins in 2008. The Penguins would come back in 2009 and win the Stanley Cup. But sadly, I don't think this will be the same outcome. I think it's going to be Florida repeating. And the state of Florida will have 4 cups in the last 5 years. Or last 6 years.
It's crazy to think.
And they've been to the Stanley Cup Final the last 7 years, if you think about it. Because Tampa Bay went to 3. Or the last 6 years, Tampa Bay went to 3. Florida went to 3 straight. I don't want to hear anyone say hockey doesn't work in Florida. Clearly does. They've been to the Cup Final the last 6 years. Now, I don't think a Florida team's going to make it next year. I think Florida's going to get knocked out. They played a lot of hockey. I just don't think Florida. I was thinking Florida.
They got to hit a wall sooner. They're going to hit that wall sooner or later.
It could be against Edmonton. I was telling Jordan, I said, don't count the Oilers out. I still have Florida winning this series.
Oilers out. I think it's gonna go 7.
I don't think it's going 7. I think Florida's winning it in 5. Florida's winning it in 5. They're knocking Edmonton out in 5. They're not going to do what they did last year. They're gonna end Edmonton quick. I just think, but if Edmonton can get to their game and Stuart Skinner, if Stuart Skinner can play like Stuart Skinner can play, Oilers have a shot.
Now, is Hyman out for good?
He's out for the
Oh,
season.
yeah, he's done.
He's done.
Okay, yeah.
But this is why they got Trent Frederick. They got him for this situation. They didn't have this guy in their lineup last year, which would have helped them. Trent Frederick plays a similar style that Florida plays, and that's what Edmonton needs. And this is why Edmonton is up 3-1 in the series against Dallas. Edmonton, I feel like Edmonton and Florida are on the same path because both of them have played tougher competition than Dallas and Carolina. Dallas really should have lost Game 7. Colorado's up 2-0 with 11 minutes left, and they blow that completely.
Yeah, that was awful.
Winnipeg's the same thing. Winnipeg was down 3-1, and St. Louis blew it. So, really, it should have been Colorado and St. Louis. I think if Colorado got past Dallas, I don't think we'd be looking at Edmonton up 3-1. I think we'd be looking up at Colorado up 3-1. Because I just feel like Edmonton's kryptonite is Colorado, as Dallas's kryptonite is Edmonton. But Colorado's kryptonite is Dallas. So...
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. But, Gil, your final predictions for the Stanley Cup Final, which potentially could be... I'm saying potentially because I've seen crazier shit happen. Dallas and Carolina both could come back in this series and win it. If Carolina plays like they did in Game 4, they could win a game. They could win it. But I just feel like Dallas has a better shot at coming back against Edmonton than Carolina does Florida. Because Florida, I've said multiple times, Carolina just if they play a similar team as their style, they're not gonna win. They don't scare me. The only reason why they beat the Capitals is because the Capitals just ran out of gas. Like that Ovi chase took a lot out of them, and you could see it. I saw it going a mile away. After Ovi beat, during that entire chase, the Capitals stopped playing their game, and it felt like they won the President's Trophy, and they just stopped playing. Caps will be back. I have a feeling the next time the Capitals and Carolina play in the playoffs, it's going to be a different outcome.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's going to go the other way. It's going to go in the Capitals' favor. But you can't.
It'll still be at least 6 games.
You
but
can't look. No, I don't know. I think Carolina is set up for the future. I just don't think they're as set up as Washington is. Carolina doesn't have a superstar. They don't have a superstar on their team.
Well,
that's their biggest problem. That's why they're never going to win the cup. They don't have a superstar that's going to take over the game when they need him to.
Yeah.
That whole friggin' team is a paradox. They need a superstar to close out games. Their style isn't conducive to keeping a superstar on their roster.
And people can say, well, who do the Capitals have for the future? He is literally...
Leonard?
No, not Leonard. He is literally going to be with the team in the next 2 years. He put Spokane on his back.
Crystal.
Andrew Crystal will be our superstar. He will be our superstar for the future. He will be the guy. Leonard's the guy to build around. But Crystal will be the guy that puts the game away.
Okay.
Tell me who on fucking Carolina that has someone like that.
They don't.
Even in their prospect pool, they don't have anyone like that. But a guy from Sweden played well in the World Juniors. I don't give a shit. Crystal didn't play because Team Canada is run by a bunch of fucking retards. That's why they haven't won a fucking World Juniors in the last 3 years. Fucking idiots. You leave your best potential players off the fucking rosters because you want to match U.S. fucking physicality. Fucking stupid. But anyways.
Tell us how you really feel, Marcus.
Looking at Florida and Carolina, I'm not.
He's telling the truth.
I absolutely agree with him.
And I'm not going to sit here and say Carolina doesn't have a better prospect pool. I do. I think they have a deeper prospect pool than us. I do. I just think we have better. I think our prospects are more likely going to be closer to become superstars. I mean, Ilya Protas.
I think we have better play. I think
As
we have
long
better
as
player
Rod
development than a
Brindamore
lot of
is
teams.
their coach, they will never have a game breaking forward. Never.
So
No.
Ilya Protas, Andrew Crystal, Ivan Miroshnichenko, Eric Smateko, Ryan Chesley, Cole Hudson. Cole Hudson's gonna be a fucking superstar for us.
Hell yeah.
And whoever we draft this year, I just feel like we're in a better position for the future. Carolina, they keep saying, "Well, our draft, our window hasn't started yet." Well, when is it gonna fucking start? You've been in the playoffs the last fucking almost 7 years. When is your window gonna open, dude? And I guarantee you, next year, those 2 first rounders they got from Dallas, they're gonna trade them.
Tell that to moneypuck.com. They've had him in the final like every year since forever.
This is their first final win since they won a fucking cup. But it ends tonight. Florida's not going to play around. I didn't even all of us. The only one outside of you, and Jared was Cheryl and Jared somehow thought we were going on this magical cup run. No, it didn't matter who won between Carolina and Washington. They were going to get steamrolled by Florida. Florida played tougher competition, and they made both those competitions look weak as fuck. Toronto did take them to 7, but in both those Game 5 and 7, Toronto looked like absolute shit because they couldn't handle Florida's forecheck. Toronto had the opportunity to put their fucking foot to the throat of Florida, and they failed to do it when they blew that 3-1 lead in Game 3, and Marchand put that puck in the back, like miraculously shot the puck and it found its way in the back of the net. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Gail, your ultimate prediction?
I'm going to go against the grain here, and I am personally going to FedEx a package that will contain a 50-pack of Depends adult diapers for one Gary Bettman and say Edmonton in 7.
I actually, I kind of see it. Like you said, Florida's been playing. I'm kind of with you, Gil. Florida has been playing a lot of hockey lately, and they're gonna hit that wall sooner or later.
Yeah, but here's where I'm gonna.
And I still think Edmonton people don't give Edmonton enough credit for art and skill. But I mean, it does. And the only reason I'm saying 7 is because they don't have Hyman. If they had Hyman, I'd say Edmonton could possibly do it in 6. But
here's where I'm gonna tell you right now, the difference between champions and not champions. I just think Edmonton is still missing that one piece. But as long as they have McDavid and Draisaitl, they're still going to be in games. But that one piece is a goaltender. Stuart Skinner just does not impress me. Like he's
not very consistent.
He's either on and he's amazing, or he's off and he's giving up 5-6 goals a game.
If he shows up in this like he has in this series, all he's got to do is win 4 games. All he's got to do is show up 4 times. But when he's on, he's really on. I mean, now when he's bad, he's
really bad.
And he sucks.
And this
donkey
is what
genitalia.
Scares me is, even though he's been really good lately, I just don't think he's going to carry it into the Florida series. I just feel like Florida, that Marchand trade is what's going to get him the cup. Brad Marchand has been a unit for them. He's been amazing for them. And I just don't think
he has.
Edmonton has a counter for that. So I'm going Florida in 6. I think the Panthers, they win the Stanley Cup again. Canada has to wait another year for the cup. I do think Canada will win a cup again eventually. I just don't think it's ready yet. Florida is just, they made the right moves at the right time, getting Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, and it's going to be, we're seeing Seth Jones win a Stanley Cup before GTA 6.
Oh.
just saying. We're seeing Canada win another Stanley Cup before GTA 6. Potentially. So, I think the year we see Canada win a Stanley Cup is when they're both Canadian teams in the final. Which very well could happen soon, Gil. It could very well happen soon.
And not Toronto.
No, I think Ottawa and Montreal.
Oh, yeah, one of them will get there first.
Yeah, and I think it's more likely going to be Montreal because Montreal has a lot of elite prospects coming up. That includes Jake Fowler, who's going to be their future in net, who's already helping the Rockets in the conference finals, as they are in the Eastern Conference Finals of the AHL. All right, Gil, that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We will see you guys in the next 2 weeks. Probably we'll see you guys next week. Me and Gil are going to do a two-round draft, mock draft of the actual mock draft, the last 7th and final mock draft. Gil, study up your notes. We're going to get ready for this one. This one's going to be it. This is going to be the one that we're going to make the prediction. This is going to be what we think is actually going to happen in the 2025 NHL draft. You ready, Gil?
Yep.
You better be. All right. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us in episode 30. It's been a blast. This season's been great. We have 3 more episodes to go that will conclude with the NHL draft. Let's go Caps on 3.
All right, let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Let's go,
Let's
Caps!
go,
Caps!
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely